Okay, we're going to finish CAD Model Features Part 2. I've already drawn this block here, and now we're going to put the sketches on it. So the first thing you'll need to do is to draw the block, the right dimensions, and then we're going to start a sketch here. So go ahead and draw that block. You can stop the video and then come back when you've got it drawn. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a triangle on here, and it's going to start at the very top but not in the corner. And it's going to go down towards the middle here, not all the way down, and then back up to the other side. Don't have specific dimensions on this yet. We're going to put those in afterwards. So I've drawn the triangle, all three sides around there. Then I'm going to add my dimensions. So the first dimension is going to be from the corner of the triangle to the side, the corner of the rectangle, and that's 0.25 inches. You do the same thing on the other side. And one thing we're going to do for a change here to get this dimension, since it's the same as this, is I'm going to click on this dimension, and that's going to put what's called a parametric modeling here. And this D4 means this dimension, which is D4, dimension number 4, and this dimension, dimension number 5 over here, are going to be the same amount. And so you can see it's fx like f of x. It's a calculation, it's an equation that calculates this dimension based on that one. It's a handy little thing that we may use more later on. So now we're going to do the same to the bottom here. We're going to set that dimension to the bottom and have it parametrically to dimension 4 as well. Nice thing about that, and you don't need to do this, just look and see, is if I change this dimension to something else, say 0.5, it changes all the dimensions at the same time because they're related to each other. It's a handy thing for other features that we might do later. So we've got that set. Now what we want to make sure of is that this point is centered in our shape. So we're going to use either vertical or horizontal constraint depending on which one gives you this line going straight up and down. You can check for that depending on which plane you are working on. And then we need to find the midpoint along here. Now to get that to happen, we're actually going to need to project geometry on this bottom line. And then we can use our constraint to constrain the point of our triangle at the bottom here with the midpoint. We just have to sort of slide along till we find it of the bottom line. That should get you all in that sort of bluish purple. Now we are finished with this sketch, and we're not going to do anything more with it at this time. We're going to do something else first, which is we're going to draw on the back side now. We're going to do a sketch over here. So we've got that sketch set up, and this sketch from our dimensions here is 0.5 from each side and 0.75 from the bottom. So let's do that. So this is going to be another triangle. It's going to be in here about like that. And we'll make sure that we get the shape across the top as well. And now we're going to dimension it from the sides, 0.5, and same thing on the other side here, 0.5. Don't need to do the parametric this time. It's just an example from before. And then we're going to do to the bottom here as well. This is going to be 0.75. Now, what we have to make sure of is that this one is also centered. Now, we'll see if that projected line is still there. It's not. Nope. There it is. Found that green dot, so we know the middle of that line, and that does look like it's centered. That's good. So we're going to finish sketch now. Now what we've got is we've got two sketches, and to do the loft command you always need to have two sketches on two different planes. So this is on one side of the shape, and then the other sketches on the other. So to do loft, we're going to come in here. It's probably under sweep. Yep, there it is, loft. And we're going to first select sketch 2, and it's easy sometimes just to sketch these from the browser. Sometimes it's hard from getting them on the shape itself. And sketch 3. Now that's going to connect those two sketches, and we want this to be a cut here. It's going to cut out between those two sketches, and we're going to click OK. And so what that creates is this sort of angled cut. It's adjusting based on where the various sketches are and hooking them together. So that's the loft command. So you want to save that in your CAD Model Features Part 2 as loft. Now we're going to do one other little bit here that I just want to show you so that you know how to do it. It's going to be necessary for when you do the second feature. So we have a sketch of some sort. It doesn't really matter what it is. And we want to connect some things together. I'm just showing this so I'm not too concerned. We're going to make a work plane. And so this plane relates to that sketch, but I want to make another plane away from it. So I'm going to use the plane command and do offset from plane. When I click on the first plane that I made, it gives me a dimension here. And that dimension is how far away the two planes are going to be from each other. So you can see there's two planes separated from each other. Now, I'm going to start a sketch on the new plane here. When I get on, I can select it by clicking on the edge. And now I'm going to use this to draw a new sketch here. Make it about that size. Now I can use the loft command between these two. And so I select sketch 1 and sketch 2, and it's going to connect these two, and this is going to be a regular solid output here. And now they are connected. Even though they are different shapes, it adjusts itself to meet those two shapes. So this loft is a way to get some really interesting shapes as you do it. And if you need to, so you don't see those planes, you can right click on the planes in your browser and take away the visibility on that. And then you can see just your shape. So that is one of the ways that you will need to use loft. One of the things you'll need to do for the second Automoblocks figure. That's all on the Word document. You'll have to work from there. There's not going to be a video for that.